Put on a Ike mini flip.
It's a little out of that. Good one on a frog.
Oh my gosh, look how big his mouth is. To be a 4-pounder, if that thing had a gut, that's like a 5 or a 6.
All right, everybody. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to One Objective. We always say we have a good show lined up for you guys, and I think this one's a good one. I don't think this is probably the best ones we've ever done, but and I'll get more into that here in just a little bit. This is a harder show for me to do, and a lot of that is because we're coming back. Like we haven't done a show in a long time, and I'm going to dig into that here in just a little while. And we're going to talk a little bit about that and what's going on with One Objective and One Objective Outdoors, and fill you guys in on all the deets on that. It's been a wild ride the last several months, but I really want to say about a year or two, because of just trying to keep this show going and trying to, just continually have new guests or work around scheduling and stuff like that. It's been very difficult. But before we kind of get into that, I want to get in and thank a lot of our sponsors that's helped us out with and all that they've done over the last several years. Been great companies to work with, and they've done a lot for us, and they've really supported us. And it's been really amazing, like I say, for all that they've done for us. So, but I want to thank Waterland Eyewear. They have been phenomenal to work with. Really great company to work with when it comes to working with eyewear companies. We've worked with a couple in the last couple of years, last several years, I say, before we got with Waterland, and they were good companies as well. But to be a smaller business, a smaller family, tight knit business, you know what I mean? Like they're good people, great people to work with, and they got great product and quality product. And I've really liked working with them and using their product in general, just a lot of their different lenses they have and different frames that they have for different circumstances and stuff like that. They got some really great stuff. So I also want to thank Missile Baits. They've come out with some good stuff at ICast, which we're going to talk about ICast here in a little while, but they had some really great stuff that they came out with at ICast, and looking forward to getting out and using some of their new baits. So make sure you go check out Missile Baits, and also Amped Outdoors. I can't say enough about them. They're sponsoring a new project that we're going to be working on the One Objective channel. I'm excited. Might talk a little bit about that. I don't know yet. Might save it for the next one, but we're going to talk a little bit about it. What's going on with One Objective Outdoors anyways, but Waterland has stepped up and is going to, not Waterland, Amped has stepped up and is going to be helping us out with a new project we're going to be working on for the outdoor channel. They've kept our troll motors going on our kayaks, our bass boats, our grafts going, and with no issues. Like, we really haven't had no issues. And I'm gonna tell you what, on our bass boats, we are running some serious electronics, and it's a lot of draw on them between both live scopes, and we got 4 or 5 grafts going on there, and just everything we got running with it. So, man, they've been a great company to work with, and heard nothing but great reviews from our customers as well. So make sure you can go and check out Missile Baits and Amped Outdoors on our website at oneobjectivebf.com, and we're dealers for those. So make sure you go check that out. And then also, I'll put a link in the description below here where you can go save yourselves 15% on Waterland Eyewear. So make sure you go check that out, take advantage of it. And they also have some good sales going on every so often with clothing line, and they got some nice hats and all that stuff. So make sure you go check out all the sponsors. They've really helped us out in the last several years and been behind us on the last couple years with everything just going on. So really appreciate them. But anyways, let's kind of dig into what's going on. And I titled it is the One Objective Show done? And we get a lot of those questions. Hey man, y'all not doing a show anymore? Y'all, what's going on? I really loved y'all's content. I loved y'all shows. And, I know a lot of people like to listen to our shows on the way to work or way home from work, or, going heading to the lake or whatever they were doing, they like to listen to our podcast show, and we were very appreciative for all of our listeners. And it's been sad that we haven't been able to get more shows out that we would like to. And we've had some great opportunities to work with some people to do a podcast show, and it just didn't work. Like, it just scheduling and all that. And so I've been going through, I don't, not going into too much detail, but we've been going through some life changes in our family. The wife and kids, we're all good. We're all good there. We just got another family member moving in, and some things are going to be a little different for about, a year or so, probably. So it makes it really tough. I had to, as you see in the background, I don't look here. This is a new studio. So I had to move my whole studio over to our family room, which is fine because I think I kind of like this setup anyways. So I don't mind that. I don't really mind. I don't mind the family member moving in. It's just change. I'm a human being of, I guess, complacency. Like, I like things just kind of being the same. I don't like a lot of change, especially at one time. And it's been like that for a little bit with scheduling and stuff. So, but also my son and my daughter with football and cheerleading and other sports that they've been looking into, or weightlifting. But the most important part of it is just kind of getting outdoors with them and enjoying it, with not sticking a camera in their face or trying to get everything on camera. Like, that's been the nicest part about it. I don't want them feeling like they always got to have a camera in their face or worry about views or this or that. And, that's something we've been trying to teach our kids there is, the whole popularity thing isn't all what it's cracked up to be. And, just kind of live your life and don't worry about it right now with your young, with the views and the, how many people liked you. It doesn't judge who you are, So, we've kind of been on that boat here lately, and it's just, I've been taking more time spending with the family. I mean, me and James both been doing the same thing. And then also One Objective in general has been busy. It's been great. I mean, it's not, I can see that the industry is slowing, fishing in general, kayak slowing. I think we're going back to what a normal season is looking like for this industry. So I think, things are just slowing down. It's after COVID. And also, it's an election year. And we all know right now, if you're just listening to this podcast, this is the 22nd of July. A lot of crazy things are going on right now. And I don't get into politics, and I won't get into politics on here. But it's a lot of crazy things going on right now in politics. And so there's a lot of uncertainty going on with businesses and what the economy is going to do. So I think there's a tick back there. People are holding back. They're holding their money. I mean, it costs you a fortune to go buy groceries and get gas in your car anymore. So I think everybody's holding back. They're not want to spend a lot of money. And then we also had ICast just come up. So guys that are looking at buying new kayaks or getting new kayaks for next year, I think a lot of them are holding off to see what new was coming out before they started rigging another one, And I think after ICast came out, things really picked up again, because people are like, I don't know if I want that, or it's not, it ain't gonna be, it's gonna be a while before it comes out, or this or that. So, it's just been a weird kind of time, with One Objective and all that. So, but we're excited to get back into doing the podcast. So as you notice too, this isn't live. I'm going to hold back from doing live for a while. We're still going to get guests on. I actually got couple guests that I'm getting lined up right now. One of them we had to reschedule a couple times just because they're scheduled too, and then everything went on with my schedule this week, so wasn't able to get them on this show. So, but we're definitely working to get them rescheduled and get them back on. But a lot of it's just going to be pre-recordings now. I love the interaction with our fans and all that, but it was just getting to the point where it was really tough to stay on a regular basis. I give it these guys like Kayak Bass Nation and all of them that stay on a regular schedule. They're able to do a show live every week and have great guests on, and that's great. And that's how you keep a podcast going. But it also gets to a point where you're like, man, I got family and I got this schedule and this schedule and this schedule, and it just kept piling up on me. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, when you're in school and you procrastinate with schoolwork, and it just keeps stacking up. Then all of a sudden you got it all on you. Well, that was kind of how it was with me and scheduling and dates and all that. And I just could not seemed like I couldn't ever make it work. Even when I wanted to change the show to do like Thursday nighters. Well, then the Thursday nighter tournaments kicked in, and I want to fish those with my kids. So I wasn't able to keep up with that side of it and all that. So it was just getting tough. So now I want to do recordings, and that way we can get some great guests on. We can plan these shows out a little bit more, and I can actually go and maybe shoot 2 or 3 shows in a day and get them up for the week, or the next several weeks. You know what I mean? So it's just that way we always have good content coming out for you guys, some good topics, and hopefully some really great guests. So, but that's kind of where we've been at with one objective. The show isn't over. The show isn't done. There was times where I was kind of like, I don't know, man. It's been so long since we've done it. Maybe we'll just let it flop. And I just kept getting messages of encouragement. Like, hey, can y'all get back and do some more shows and all that. So that's what we're looking at doing. We're looking at getting back and doing some more shows for you guys that enjoy listening to them on your way to work and all that. So, but anyways, let's kind of dig into this, and hopefully the sound and all that and the camera is all good. I might adjust this camera just a little bit. Let me see if I can adjust this one down just a little bit there. Got everything set up in the studio here, except for, like picture stuff, but like just the technology side of it, getting all hooked up. And I was just going through some things, make sure it's all good and all right. So, but let's kind of dig into this. We're going to be going forward. We got our new schedule. I'm looking at having a new show out every Tuesday. Not sure how I'm going to do the time. Maybe they'll start coming out around lunchtime. I'm not 100% sure on that. Maybe it'll be here in the morning Tuesday. I got to set up my exact time I'm going to be doing this so I can see what's right for you guys and getting them out there. So that's the plan. We'll start doing all these recording and get them out on a Tuesday. But also Chris normally was the ones helping us with the shows, and with us not doing live right now, it's and just doing kind of pre-recordings. It's just, and plus he's got a different job now, so he's doing days as of right now. Then he'll be going tonight, so it's going to be difficult having him on helping with the show as much as we used to do it. So I'm hoping to get him on a few shows and help out here and there, especially if I got some really, really big guests, have him on, take care of that, where I can just kind of get my questions in and all that. But as of right now, it looks like, Chris won't be helping out as much as he used to, but we're hoping to have him on some more shows and helping us out and all that stuff. So let's kind of get into, I have one more topic here. Well, I think I already discussed that. Let's get into ICast. So we didn't go to ICast this year. We went last year just for a short span to kind of talk with some companies and have some meetings, and everything went well with that. But this year we kind of held back. We wasn't doing many trips. We didn't really take no big fishing trips, fishing tournaments, and we said we weren't going to go to ICast or the Classic or any of that stuff. Now, I don't know what's going to happen next year. I would like to get back down to ICast. I thoroughly enjoy getting in there and talking with everybody, meeting new people, and meeting old friends as well. So, but there was some good products that came out. There was some products that I was like, man, that's needed. That should have been. We needed something like that in the industry, especially in the kayaking side of things. And then there was some things that I was just kind of like, it's expensive to have a booth at ICast, and there's some things that I'm like, man, people are really, really laying it out on the line here, putting all their eggs in a basket to try to make this product work or take off. And I guess we all got that idea in our head that, this could be it. This could be the next great invention. This could be the next great thing. But there's some things I just sit back and I'm like, why did you? I'm not trying to cut a company up, so don't take this wrong. But why did you pay this much money for a booth? And this much money in marketing and this much money and, like all this stuff that just the expense of sleeping and eating and getting there. And then, time work. If this isn't your full-time job, this is like your secondary job, like a side hustle. Like how do people spend this much money? Because I know what the money's like in the tackle industry as a dealer. I know what it's like as a dealer for other products as well. There's some that are better than others, but I look at it as a business standpoint, like, you could have invested this money, could have invested in a lot more other things than trying to come here and make this blow up. I don't know. That's my opinion, and I don't want anybody getting offended by it, but that's my opinion on that. So, But there was some products that there was one that I was just like, the it was it looked like the guy was on the aquarium. There's a video out there on Facebook. If you look around, you'll find it. But it was just a thing that made the rod go up. Like he made the cast out and he put it in this little electronic thing and it made the rod just jig a lure. So I guess if you're like fishing off a pier or you're fishing, I don't know, off of I don't know where you do it at. You know what I mean? Because you got to fish where it's going to be somewhere deep right below you, and if fish hits it, it sets a hook. You know what I mean? Like so, they're basically saying you could have a couple rods out doing this and have a chance of catching something. And to me, that just takes just the fun out of fishing. I know people talk about live scope and how that's not fair and this and that, and it ain't fishing and blah blah blah. That's still fishing. That's still trying to catch something that you see down there. It's just sometimes they don't bite, sometimes they do. But on this, I mean, you're not even. I mean, I can understand throwing a line out there, and letting it sit, and waiting for something to hit, like catfishing, or you fishing off a pier or something. But to have something just constantly working the bait for you, and you just go and catch, like to me, that's taking the fun part out of fishing, of actually the technical part of how you should work the bait, or how you should, how long you should let it sit or fall, or the little technique based things like that. I couldn't believe. I'm just like, whatever, man. I can't believe they brought something like that. It did seem like to me that this year was the year of like the hover rig or the strolling rig, whatever you want to call this whole rig deal. The Mickey rig kind of set up where everybody's got their own jig heads, everybody's got their own baits for it. Like that's what it seemed like to me. Every bait company had their own little small fish looking bait that was to be like a hover rig or whatever you want to call that whole finesse technique. I do enjoy doing that. I use the Z-Mans. I know Missile Baits has got some stuff they've come out with as well that they've partnered up with some companies. But it just seemed like it was the year of the hover rig. Every year at ICast, there's the year of something, whether it's year of kayaks, whether it's year of coolers or buckets or, topwater lure, something different. It's always something different each year. And this year it seems like, especially with like Dustin Connell and Jacob Wheeler and all of them with Crush City, man, they've been killing it with that whole setup. And it seems like more companies are seeing this and making more of this kind of bait. And, it's more live scope oriented baits and stuff like that. So, but it's so many different ways. It's a friend of mine actually said this in a quote when we were talking about something. There's only so many ways to, what do you say, peel a pineapple or cut a pineapple or something like that. And you're right. In the fishing industry, I mean, you look at crankbaits right now. I mean, there's not so many different ways I guess you can redesign a crankbait. It's just paint schemes, and we got flat sides and wide wobbles and bigger lips and stuff like that. But there's only so many ways you can really make a crankbait be different. You know what I mean? So I think we're kind of getting into the era right now. It's just not a lot of great ideas out there right now. The frog has been reinvented. It's kind of, you got into a store now to buy a frog, and now it's so many different frogs. Now, when me and James buy a frog, I'm saying which one's the softest, or if it's going to be a popping frog or a walking frog or any of that stuff. So that's just kind of stuff that we're looking for. But anyways, we're talking about frogs. There's so many different ways you can really do a frog. You know what I mean? There's different hooks. There's different all that stuff. But I think the industry, to me personally, I feel like it's a little stagnant. Like it's only so many different new kind of baits that you can come out with creature baits and this and that. You had the little cube bait with the little things that come off of it. Now that is a whole different deal. That's something different, which it's been out for a while, but now you got a couple different companies that are trying to do that as well. And that's just not I don't know how well it works. I don't have none. I don't know if it's really that great. Like it's that big of a deal. I know the tournaments have been won with it, but tournaments been won with a lot of different baits. Then you get it and you still can't do nothing with, So, but yeah, I just think the fishing side of it, the tackle side of it, I think it's a little stagnant, man. I just don't see like there's no new, like nothing new. Like, wow, look at that. Now I will say when it comes to the kayaking side, with Bonafide Wilderness, they did something different. You know what I mean? Now, is it different than no one else done? No, I mean, you look at the Ascend that's out there; it's very similar kind of style kayak. Bonafide come out with their kayak, the X. Oh man, I can't think what that one was called. But it's hold on, I got to pull it up now. It just slipped my mind. But anyways, Bonafide just came out with their kayak, the XTR 130, and I ain't gonna lie, guys, I kind of like it. I mean, there's some people that didn't like it. I've made some comments too, like it looks like a new canoe and a Titan, and it looks like a Bonafide, but there's a lot of features that's on this thing that is really, really nice, with the front platform, with the area to put your graphs. It's got a big wide deck for your motor. It's got the capabilities of being a two-seater. Now, I know that I'm not a kayak designer. I know that I don't understand what all goes in when it comes to making a mold and this and that. But to me personally, if I was to make a two-seater kayak, I would have possibly went to a 14-foot boat. That's just my opinion. I understand they're trying to keep it in at 12, but I mean it's already, it's a $2,800 kayak and it's already heavy. So why not just go 14 foot? That way you're basically in a John boat. I mean, it's got a heck of a stance to it. You know what I mean? It's 40 and a half foot wide. So some of your John boats, your 12-foot John boats, it's wider than them. So I wish they would have went just a little bit longer, because that'd have been phenomenal there. But I mean, the boat's big enough that you have the ability to run two motors. Because let's face it, a lot of people are complaining about this. Oh, you don't need to run two motors. You don't need to. Oh, there's a big majority. There's a lot of people that do fish kayak tournaments. Okay. So, but there's also a lot of people that do not fish kayak tournaments, and they just want to go out there and go fishing with their buddy or their son or their daughter or wife or girlfriend, whatever, that they're not competing, but they want to be able to get out there without having to drag 2 and 3 other kayaks. So this right here gives people the ability to do that and go out and have fun with one another. I think what they did there was a great idea. Now, I know Wilderness, they came out with one as well that they're doing. They ended up winning best of show in that category, which is pretty cool. That's good for Wilderness. But it's kind of crazy. They're both similar kayaks. Like, who spilled the beans where on who was designing something? I don't know. It's kind of funny, and you see that a lot in this industry too, where somebody spills the beans, and all of a sudden there's two companies that came out with a product that's very similar. That's the only way it could happen, was someone spilled the beans. So, anyways, I thought that was a really cool concept what Wilderness and Bonafide did with their kayaks. I mean, that's kind of, I know the word gets used a lot when it comes to game changer, and I'm not going to say the kayaks are game changer, but I do say that it opens the door up for more companies to say, hey, we need to do something like this. You know what I mean? So it's going to give the consumer more options out there, and it's going to give companies like us the ability to go and make more products and helping people, with their products or with their kayaks, more accessible to certain different ways they want to fish and all that stuff. If I even worded that right, probably didn't word that right, but it gives people the ability to have more accessories for the kayaks, shall we say. So, but I want to say a big kudos to Yak Attack, because I think they come out with a really cool cart for saltwater fishing. They basically took some of the ideas that they had for their carts for their kayaks, when it comes to the wheels. They came out with a whole new track system that will be like a captain's bridge to be able to mount graphs. And it's also implemented into their cart system. So if you haven't checked that stuff out, you need to check it out, because that is a great idea that you can implement. Yak Tack. I love Yak Tack because it's like Legos, man. You can do anything with Yak Tack. You can build anything you want to. So it makes it fun when you go into kayaking side, that you can have all these different accessories that you can adapt to other kayaks, or you can easily take off of there and put on another kayak or whatever. But they did a phenomenal job on some few accessories to make life a little bit easier. But that cart was so cool how they had it rigged up with their little boxes they put on there. You can have tackle boxes on your cart. You can have rod holders on your cart. You can put a camera pole on your cart. You could it was a really cool setup. And I don't ocean fish a lot. You know, me and James ended up going in and buying like a little cart to haul our tackle back and forth when we go on a pier and all that. But I'm gonna tell you that right there, I think that is one cool setup. And if I was more into like surf fishing and all that, I'd have to have that. And I really like, even, you know, even if you didn't surf fish, let's say you like to walk the bank, the ponds and all that stuff, or some of these bigger lakes and carry your catfishing gear, you know, or your crappie fishing gear, where that'd be perfect little cart to have just to roll around. And it's not super heavy. You can roll it around, go anywhere you want. I really like that setup. I thought it was a cool setup. So kudos to Yak Tack on that. Another thing I seen a video that I seen come out was the hook out tool. You know, the whole line trick. You get a hook in your hand or your finger or whatever, and they got the whole line trick. You got to have a buddy to, you know, you tie it and you just kind of holding there, and you have a buddy that yanks that for you and gets the hook out, saves you a trip to the emergency room. Well, there's a company out there designed a hook out tool. So it's basically clipping around the bend of the hook, but it's also got a piece that goes on the top of the hook that kind of puts that forward pressure. So that helps you basically turn it, hook at the right angle you need to pop it out. And it's got a nice big handle that you can pop it out and yank it out, or even if you still need your buddy to do it, but it could be a one-man band when you need to hopefully take a hook out. Hopefully not, but if you need to take a hook out your arm or hand or wherever, you got a special tool to do that instead of having to do this whole braid trick and make sure you tie the right knot and all that. Sorry about that. I think my allergies are messing up right now with all the rain that's here in my throat and all that stuff. I keep feeling I need to cough, but and then Power Pole came out with their kayak motor, and I thought that was pretty phenomenal. I mean, that's going to be a powerful motor. It's going to be a 24 to 36 volt system. Their regular motor for the bass boats are super quiet, super light. I'm curious to see what this one weighs compared to like the XI3 and all that. But to have 100 some pounds of thrust is going to be phenomenal. Like that's going to be crazy. You know, we got to be careful though, because like I say, you got that much thrust. I don't care if you got a metal mount, I don't care if you got a plastic mount, whatever. If you hit something hard enough, something's going to get tore up. You know what I mean? Whether it be your kayak, you rip it out your kayak or whatever and tear your kayak up. So I think that's a really cool idea, what they're doing, coming out with a smaller motor for the kayak side, which is mind blowing to me. Like a company like Minn Kota, they make the one for the Old Town, but why have they not made and if it is out there, correct me, but I haven't seen anything for a trolling motor. Why would you not have that? And then you got to take, if you do go buy one, you got to take to an authorized dealer to have it cut down, so it's more money. Why not come out with one yet? I just don't understand that. So it is kind of crazy to me that they don't have a motor out yet, at least Minn Kota. I've always been a Minn Kota guy. I do like the Power Pole. I like the Lowrance. The Lowrance I have, it's okay motor. I'm not going to sit there and talk it up too much. I've had a lot of issues with it on my boat, mainly GPS, locking in or picking up GPS signal. But I see on the forums there's a lot of issues and stuff like that too with them sometimes with certain, it's all the same stuff. It's like these companies don't fix an issue that they have. They just keep putting it out there. But just to see Power Pole coming out with something different and giving the kayaker guys a little more options when it comes to motors besides just the XI3 or the Minn Kota or a Torqeedo or Newport. You know what I mean? There's another motor in the game, and it's a 24 volt system. So, and it's specifically for kayak. So, really excited to see that come out and see what that's going to do. We might have an opportunity to be able to run one. So we're kind of excited about that and see if we can get our hands on one here soon and let you guys know what we think about it. Do some speed tests and all that stuff, because 100 pounds of thrust, that's got to move a kayak on pretty good. But that this is all just based off what I've seen online. I haven't seen a lot of craziness, nothing that says wow, but there is some pretty cool ideas that are coming out, and looking forward to getting our hands on them here, around the fall or first of the year. And so we hope to get on the water here soon, get some more videos coming out for our One Objective channel, our One Objective Outdoors channel. This on the regular bass fishing channel. A lot of you guys, if you haven't heard, we got a One Objectives Outdoor channel. That's where all our fishing content, we're going to be doing hopefully some hunting content, but like also full wheeling and motorcycle and all that stuff. I just finally got me another dirt bike. And the reason is because my son got into it and I wanted to have something to be able to go spend time with him as well. I had a four wheeler, but to get up there and ride dirt bikes, and I have really thoroughly enjoyed. I actually call it my midlife crisis toy. That's what my son calls it too. We all joke around. It's my midlife crisis toy. But I used to ride back in the day years ago, and I was small dirt bikes, nothing like this. And so we ended up getting some dirt bikes. We've been riding a lot here lately and having fun, and it works you out, man. I've been on this journey of trying to lose weight again, and I've been trying to go to the gym, but I just don't have the time with scheduling and all that stuff, like I talked about earlier. So this gives me, I've just been trying to eat right, and this gives me the ability to just get out there and ride and have fun and sweat and work my muscles. And I've been having a lot of back issues, and to be honest with you, when I get off that thing, I feel better. I think it works my back out. I don't know. It's crazy. So, but we're going to be having some videos coming out on that, and all that's going to be on our One Objective Outdoors channel. Now, me and James both are very appreciative of all the people who subscribe to our channel. We're at like 1,100 subscribers now. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, we're like at 1,100 subscribers. So we were hitting 1,000 this year, and we hit it, and like I say, we're over that goal now. So our goal now, where we're at, I know it's a long stretch, a long goal, but it could happen. I mean, I've seen overnight success stories. So, I mean, I would love to see us hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of this year. But if it don't, that's all right. Maybe by the end of next year, we'll hit it. So, but we've been doing a lot more content over there. I know on this page, y'all haven't seen a lot. We haven't had new products out lately. So we're just kind of waiting to get some new stuff coming. We've got stuff in the work. We've been working on some new kayaks. We've been working on some older model kayaks. Just getting some stuff out there for everybody. We get a lot of questions about, we get calls daily. Hey, do you got it for this, or this? So I wish we had like $1 billion. So we just go buy all of them and get them in there and make mounts for every single one of them, and you about got to do it like every year. It's just crazy. So we're trying our best to keep up and at least get the most popular brands done first. So it's been a grind, but so anyways, we haven't posted a lot there, but we got some more stuff coming. A lot of our stuff's been going on the outdoor channel. So like I say, you'll see some shorts on there from ATVs and side by side. We just got back from West Virginia not too long ago. I went up there and rented one, and James and them, they have theirs, and man, I had a blast. We had a total blast, and I think me and my son are going to take the dirt bikes up there this fall. So I'm looking forward to that. And that's another thing too. I would like to ask you guys, because me and James actually talked about starting a One Objective Outdoors channel. But for all you listeners that listen all the time, would y'all mind if we put a segment in here that's more than just fishing? We can keep it that way if that's all y'all want. But if y'all want to hear about some of our hunting stories or ATV stories, I'm not saying dedicating a full show to it, but just some of those stories, But anyways, that's what we got going on. There's going to be some more content coming out here with our setups, with our ATVs and dirt bikes and all that stuff too. So make sure you go out there over there, One Objective Outdoors, hit the subscribe button, check it out. Also, make sure you check out oneobjectivebf.com for all your rigging, your bass boat, your kayak rigging needs. We got you covered. We got Yak Attack products. We got Amped Outdoor products. We got missile baits, all other different tackle out there. We got a lot of different tackle on our website now. Trying to fix up our Facebook and Instagram and YouTube market side of it. You'll see some products on there. I don't have them all, but I'm trying to build that up and get it organized. Right now, it's just a mess. I'm trying to get it organized. So make sure you go over and check that out as well. But other than that, guys, I think I want to end it here. I had a good time talking to you guys. I know it's been a long while, and I hope you guys understand and ain't mad at us about it. It's been life. Life's hit us hard, and with I say hard, it's not been bad. We're very blessed to be what we're at and where we're at and where we've come from, and to see the love and support from all of our followers and subscribers and customers and all that stuff. So we're very blessed with that. And it's just life hit us a little bit, and we had to make some changes and kind of reschedule things out, and we're going to get there. So hope you guys, like I say, I hope you enjoy the pre-recordings. Sorry they're not live, but we're gonna, like I say, we're gonna work our best and work our butts off to get this show back up and going and off the ground, and get you some great guests and some great topics. So, but other than that, guys, we will talk to you later. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this video with friends, and we hope to see you on the water.